We all know that with the coming of NEP 2020, our educational system of administration, or be it every area of the teaching profession, has changed drastically by leaps and bounds. And we see the changing role of a teacher, which has transitioned from the classroom beyond the classroom. So a teacher is now expected to not only be a role model for the students, but to be an educator and a facilitator. But let us also keep in mind that our students, the academic interests of the students, and the holistic development of the child does not suffer in any manner. So we need a balance of all the co-curricular activities and academic activities in any government schools in Nagaland. And taking this privilege, taking this opportunity and this platform, I would also like to remind our department, our desire, the desire of our higher secondary cadre. Firstly, our cadre review has been a long-felt need of our department. And most importantly, the Nagaland School Education Service Rules 2017, which is almost a decade old now. And not forgetting the negligible upgradation of higher secondary schools during the last few years. And we are all aware that there are a number of higher secondary schools across Nagaland without even a single PGT. Yes, our department has no magic wand to be solving all the problems in one single academic year or at once. But I believe, despite all the challenges which our HODs will have and our honorable advisor will have, I believe we can bring changes by working collectively as a team. And I would also request our department to handhold us, our association also. For when I stand here, I speak not for myself, but for the higher secondary cadre and for the general welfare of our school education department. So before I end my address, I would also challenge every one of us present here to work hand in hand, because your presence today in this general conference is your support. So even if you may have one single representative from your concerned district, from the 17 districts across Nagaland, your presence here means so much to us. Because when we work as a team, we can succeed and we will succeed. And lastly, let's continue to work together and be catalysts of change now and in the days to come. Thank you all.
Kohima. If the Kohima representatives are here, they are kindly request you to come on stage. PM Shri NGHSSEA Puja Party has secured the position of 7th rank in the top 10 in arts stream. Next school we have PM Shri Manmacha Government Higher Secondary School, Bokokchung. The school representatives are kindly requested to come and receive the certificate. Mua Akan T. Longkumer has secured the 10th rank position in the top 10 in science stream. Thank you, Honorable Chief Guest, for your kindly take a seat. And I request our Principal Director to remain standing for the preceding felicitation. Next we have PMC GHSS Chumekediba, Bharti Puja Bharti, Government School subject topper in 4 subjects, namely education, she has scored 96, English 92, Hindi 88, and sociology 99. Along with her, Kushi Darji, Government School subject topper among GHSS topper in geography, securing 95 marks. Next, PM Shri Manmacha Government Higher Secondary School, Bokokchung. We request Manmacha Government Higher Secondary School representative to kindly receive the certificates. Sanjantula, state subject topper in our securing 96 marks. Muakkam T. Longkumer, state subject topper in chemistry and mathematics. Tongti Tangla, subject topper in accountancy, 80 marks, and Vidya Mother, securing 99 in IT enabled services. Next, Dimapur GHSS. We have Kekhrielhoulie Yhome, the state subject topper in swimming, securing 92 marks. Wente P. Home, state subject topper in tourism and hospitality, securing 95 marks. Rashma Kapur, subject topper in government school, APP, securing 88 marks. Tudi Government Higher Secondary School. If the representatives are here, Tudi Government Higher Secondary School. Chubai Lab, state subject topper in electronics, securing 99 marks. Okay, we'll proceed to the next. Longland Batu GHSS. If the representatives are here. Tosa Enrolment Form, state subject topper in beauty and wellness, securing 93 marks. Among state subject topper in beauty and wellness, securing 93 marks. Nagaland Government Higher Secondary School representative. Next, Joseph Government Higher Secondary School. May I request the school representative to kindly receive the certificates. Vivekananda Nagi, state subject topper in entrepreneurship, securing 100 marks. Menosa Gorsenos, state subject topper in agriculture, securing 98 marks. Kushi Kaga, Government School subject topper in business studies, securing 95 marks. Mesipela Government Higher Secondary School. May I request the Mesipela Government Higher Secondary School to representative to kindly receive the certificate. Kekhrielhoulie, State Subject Topper in Automotive securing 97 marks. Dimapur Purana Bazar Government Higher Secondary School. May I request the representative of Dimapur Purana Bazar Government Higher Secondary School. Kekhrielhoulie Government School Subject Topper in History securing 94, Plus Science securing 97, and Alternative English securing 96 marks. Next we have Kohima Government Higher Secondary School. Dosenzono Kate Government School Subject Topper in Geography securing 95 marks. Afia Rankin Government School Subject Topper securing 94 in Computer Science. Vivek Kumar Gupta Government School Subject Topper in Economics securing 87. Teja Munyo Government School Subject Topper in Music and Philosophy securing 93. Representative may kindly come and receive the certificates. Moon Yang P. Government School Subject Topper in Economics securing 87 marks. Peck Government Higher Secondary School. Peck Government Higher Secondary School. Kutala Velu. Government School Subject Topper in Healthcare securing 98 marks. Next, Waka Government Higher Secondary School. Waka Government Higher Secondary School. Senjanoism Government School Subject Topper in Lotha, securing 97 marks. Government Higher Secondary School Waka teacher representative may kindly come. Next, Kibuema Government Higher Secondary School. Kibuema Government Higher Secondary School. Vizoko Kotsu Government School Subject Topper in Physics securing 84 marks. Jalupi Government Higher Secondary School. Jalupi Government Higher Secondary School. Lungi Wanghe Government School Subject Topper securing 89 marks in retail subject. Thank you. Now we have a certificate for 7% pass in HSLC 2026, and to give away the certificates, may I request our Director of School Education to kindly do the honors. First, we have GHSS Josema in both Arts and Commerce Stream. Josema Government Higher Secondary School. Government Higher Secondary School in Arts Stream. Chittikong Government Higher Secondary School. PhD GHSS Tanjong in Commerce Stream. Tanjong Government Higher Secondary School in Commerce Stream. Last but not the least, TM Government Higher Secondary School, Kohima in Science Stream.
On behalf of the government of Nagaland, represented by our Honorable Governor, Chief Minister, Dr. Kekhrielhoulie, I take great privilege in the presence of our Principal Director and his esteemed colleagues, as well as all our fellow teachers who are gathered here today on this occasion on the 22nd of August to release the statistical report of the government higher secondary, government Higher Secondary Schools Employee Association Statistical Report. Thank you. I've done some basic research, and I just want to bring to your notice that much before the Nagaland University conducted its blood collection, even during the British time, a lot of blood samples were collected, and you will understand that in the area of epidemiology, the epidemics, apart from the corona, which affected during our times, it came as far as the plains of Assam in the tea gardens which were there. And therefore, if you look at what do we call the Naga Hills also, there were a lot of interest in Naga Hills. As early as 1935, the blood of our Angamis, Konyaks, and what do we call Aus, it was collected. And some of the areas where their interest was to trace out our origin. And therefore, during those days, they were able to do it only through the classification of the blood group. So they were trying to compare us with the Mizos, and therefore they were also comparing our blood groups with what do we call the Dayaks in Indonesia. And I remember SCRT during those days came out with very thin books tracing what do we call the origin, the cultural affiliation, affinity, which they did not mention about the blood sampling, but I guess it is from that they came. The blood sampling is also important, and if you look at the history of DNA in our destiny, you will remember the handsome priest, Father Abraham Lotha. He happens to be the first Naga to be to run his blood, to run his DNA. The National Geographic, the Genographic project, he was part of that, and Father Abraham's Lotha's maternal lineage has been traced back to 150,000 years, and the out of Africa theory applies, and we were told that the maternal part of Father Abraham went as far as Asia and went to Indonesia, whereas from the paternal lineage they moved to southern China, and it is known that they were the first developers of agriculture. And some of Lotha's ancestral cousins, we were told they were even traced to as far as present-day Japan or the Great Polynesian Island. So Abraham Lotha's DNA indicates 16% East Asian, 37% Southeast Asian, and Oceanic, and 1.4% what do we call Netherlands. And that is what I want to talk about. So that is about some parts of science, about biopolitics, this and that. Today, I have brought in some of the activities which we have been doing on. We have been partnering with organizations through CSR support. For that, we had completed in Kifiri as well as in Dimapur, the project-based learning. You are familiar with that. That is with one group. The other group with which we have engaged is what we call the Dream a Dream. And the Dream a Dream had now come out with their socio-emotional learning for the 4 cohorts. So we have till the higher secondary, and Dream a Dream, they're collaborating with an American-based firm to develop our curriculum. The third group with which we have been working is the Saturday art class. So with that, we are not targeting what do we call specific districts. We had sprinkled them all over Nagaland, and they are approaching various schools. So in other words, we had been operating this at 3 levels, 3 individual groups, and this is how now we want to design. We want to design the school structure. We want to design the system of our schools in Nagaland. So as the postgraduate teachers, those who are in the higher secondary, you are the most exposed in terms of the academia. You are the most exposed in terms of what do we call your understanding of how the school ecosystems are. So I just want to also let you know that the design process is on the way, and it is very important for you to understand the 3 pillars which we will be associating with rebuilding our school ecosystem. The first one, of course, is infrastructure. We need to have patience because that depends on funding. Today, Razakriye Higher Secondary, fortunately, we have such a beautiful heritage now. I'm sure the principal is proudly nodding to herself along with her students. But the manner in which we have transformed the infrastructure, it will happen, it will continue to happen, but that will not happen in one go. The second pillar will be on our ecosystem of governance, of our understanding of service matters, on human resource management, which includes transfer posting formula. It will be about how we put our governance structure in place in the directorate, in the districts, in the field, that coordination on a very personalized thing we will have to. And for that, we are also established the School Leadership Academy. And now for you to be headmaster, assistant headmasters, now we are putting things into place where you need to fill criteria. So it will take time, and also it will clash with some of what do we call the existing service rules. For example, you have been talking about reviving your service rules, which I'll come to that, but that is one part. The third pillar of restructuring our schools will be, because the narrative of saying we have the best teachers, private schools, they don't have the best teachers, we have the best teacher. That is not bringing children to our school. So what do? We reboot our system. We redesign our school systems in terms of curriculum. We make our system better than the private school systems. And for that, just to give you one example of how we are planning to make our intervention, as far as art is concerned, we are engaging people who know nothing about art, people who have zero experience about art. So it can be a science teacher, it can be a humanities teacher. So since we have very less art instructors, we are now putting our teachers as art instructors. Now, what is particularly significant about the Saturday art class is they're a small group, but they use AI application. So AVGC, animation, videography, gaming content, these are some of the areas where we will be making a lot of intervention now. Hopefully on 28th, that is on Friday, we will be signing up a 100 million rupees worth of MOU with Google to now improve the school ecosystem and our preparedness for digital and STEM in our school systems. So now we will create all those facilities for our government schools, and we hope that once this is designed, it will become not just the best in the country, it will become a world-class approach to teaching what we call art and coming out with socio-emotional learning through the art and creativity platform. So that is just one example of what I want to tell you. We had introduced through our collaboration with Yamaha International, and we had started implementing pilot projects in Dimapur and Kohima through the introduction of the recorder. So we are developing what we call a curriculum in music for what do we call our school children. So this is important, and this is very important at a particular age group, because the recorder, as musicians or music scientists will prove, it is known to be the best way of learning music. So we have introduced that. So we hope that we will be able to upscale it to all the rest of the schools here in Nagaland. If you look at Trinity School of Music, London, they are there in UK, in London. Right at our doorstep, we are able to get international degrees, international diploma, international. So this degree is very important. We are very aware that Nagas are very good in soft skills. We are very good in aged care system in the service sector. As a young society, we are very vulnerable. I keep repeating that. But our adaptability, our perceptivity, our ability to cope with changes in and around us are extremely very high. And we have seen that we are very good in many things. So like that, music. So the polytechnic degree or diploma which we get here, it has no international mobility. So right at our doorstep, when we are able to get what we call equivalence of degree, as NEP says, we will be having the ability, the mobility to move all over the world. So for us, we are training a generation where many of us, of late only, we have learned what we call the use of IT, the use of digital. Many of us transition to what we call smartphones. Had the corona not come, many of us will still be using the torchlight phone, so on and so forth. So as teachers, today our preparedness for what we call lifting our children, of teaching our children, I can understand, has a lot of tremendous stress on all of you. For instance, we talk about learning Indian histories, but little do we know about our histories. Little do we know we know Major Sekreni Toku Imong, but if I ask you what are the three most important Kemengam or the Tikir or the Chang festivals, we will not know. So we are trying to fast track all this. We have what we call the need to develop languages. Angami is there. Why we are not recruiting language teachers? Because except for Angamis, there you cannot have language teachers, because to be a language teacher, you need to be trained in that language. So, and we have no time. So we are speaking with Nagaland University so that we can come out with some diploma courses, so that we can come out with some postgraduate diploma courses or certificate courses. And this degree needs to be recognized. Like the government of Nagaland, right, our Hindi Institute, we are producing certificates, diploma holders, people who have degrees in Hindi. But the government of India does not recognize this. They call it as fake certificates. So we will not go back to the tradition of redoing what our common sense does not inform us. We will no more do stupid things. That's why the pressure to appoint language teacher is very much there. But if our certificates, our degrees are not recognized by institutions, we cannot push for that. So we understand the urgency to have this. We need to develop our language because mother tongue is very important to us. The Nagaland curriculum framework is almost ready. We had gone over it, which has been developed very meticulously by SCRT and NEP. Our mother tongues needs to be taught in school ecosystems, but we simply do not have textbooks. So we now bring in all this collaboration. Through AI, we can write books faster. Through AI, we can collect our stories much faster. So the platform, the threshold for us to invest in STEM, in IT technologies, to make all our children, to make our teachers, this is what is going to be the new challenge. So in other words, from helicopter pilot, now we are going to become pilots of a jet fighter. So we need to reboot ourselves also. I'm very happy that you have all taken this opportunity to call me also. And please do not feel that I've abandoned you, since Madam Karen's tenureship as your president, we have been discussing all these things. Uh, uh, we are unable to push some roadblocks. And apart from that, let me be very frank with you. I stand by all my teachers. It is my job to take all of us forward. I'm not here to stop your career progression. I'm not here to, what do we call, victimize you. But I also understand that today, if you look at our state, we realize the mistakes of our elders. A lot of mistakes have gone into place. And with that, I also request all of you, many of you are my peers, my age group also. Many of you are a little bit older to me. So this particular peer generation group, unless we also from our own end come out with a sense of what do we call sacrifice, with a sense that today, unless we understand and agree to do something which also, in other words, make us victim of the system, it will be difficult for our children to rectify all this. So for us, it is important that today we clean our sled board. We do not keep dirt for our children. So I warmly welcome the 780 postgraduate teachers who mostly compose this association. Very soon, once NPSC conducts the exam oral interview, 70 more PGTs will join you. In the pipeline, we have put another 30. So to the query why we are not appointing teachers is that there are no money for appointing teachers. What we are doing is we have not appointed any graduate or primary teachers ever since I took over the department because we simply have too many surplus. We have shortage in key strategic areas like math teacher, science teacher, postgraduate teachers. But where there are surplus, we have not been making any appointment, and we are now converting these resources to appoint postgraduate teachers. This year, we had already gathered all the necessary data. This year, we will be closing down a lot of schools. We will be amalgamating a lot of schools also. If you look at the 57 higher secondary schools we have here in Nagaland, we have only 21 schools which are composite. And only recently, we have created composite schools, for example, like Razakhe, or even for like TM higher secondary school. So there is another GMS nearby within the same compound. What we have done is, infrastructure-wise, we have not clubbed them together, but in principle, we have clubbed them there as composite schools. Now, if you look like Jaluki Higher Secondary School, there is a school within the compound. If you look at Chazuba, the school is within, the GMS is within the school compound. So where it is possible, we will now make all our higher secondary schools as composite schools. And now experiences which we learned very late has shown us that if we have composite schools, the school automatically begins to grow. And we have been noticing this with our experiments with school upgradations. Parents, we could not understand what was their feeling or how they perceive our schools. If it is only till GMS, they realize that after they pass out their class 8, they are worried about where they will go. And it is understandable. So right from the early schooling days, they do not want to come to our school. So they want the assurance that a child should go and pass out their matriculation from our school. So they do not like this arrangement and they are fearful, and we cannot blame them that. So after a couple of schools which were upgraded to higher secondary school, I've checked out all the data. A lot of private schools are now migrating into our recently upgraded government high schools. So this we understood very late, and for schools to improve, it is necessary for us to have the maximum number of composite schools. Then in the rural areas, we will downgrade many of the unnecessary high schools, and then accordingly we will reshape the ecologies of our geographies, and we will ask your recommendation in many areas also. You understand that many stakeholders are there in the field of education. The community is concerned, everybody is concerned, then we have all of us. So the reportages which comes, some are biased, some are unbiased. So we will be taking all different, opinions. We will follow the necessary, protocol of consultation, and then we will be able to, improve our school systems. So this year, that is what we are proposing, and we hope in the next academic year it will take effect. I want to just come out with the enrollment system of 2025 and 26. If you look at the overall enrollment in 2025 and 26 compared, we had an enrollment of 6,475 in all the 3 streams last year. This year, we are short of 481. So I just want you to note that. So we will send out a format for you to fill up, but you can use we will have a column for you to also give your personal experiences and personal opinion to give this. In Kohima, we have 8 higher secondary schools scattered all over the 6 assembly constituency. In Kohima, what we did was we did the joint entrance admission. So all the 8 higher secondaries, they collaborated. Single point institutions were no longer doing the admission. We divided the entire Kohima district, whether it is rural area or urban area, including the private schools, which we call the All Nagaland Private Schools Association. The 29 schools were also called. And then according to geography, according to topography, we remap how children should go to school or which school they should go to. And what we have noticed is that there is a slight improvement. It improved a little bit from last year, but particularly in Zosoma Higher Secondary School, a lot of optimization has taken place. Visema also has a remarkable improvement. Razakriya, because of the ongoing construction, we had to take less students. So otherwise, I think overall, although there was positive changes, if Razakriya had taken more students, I think we will have improved a lot this year in Kohima. So like that, I want all of you, especially our principals, to understand the ecosystem of feeder school. And when you study the ecosystem of feeder schools, it is very important for you to understand or include private schools also. If you look at some of the schools, higher secondary schools here in Kohima, from class nursery till class 10, every class will have like 15, 18, barely crossing 20. But the moment they hit class 11, they have what we call excessive students, 300 students in class 11. The rest of the nursery till class 10 is not even half of what they have in class 11. So all these malpractices of putting excess students in private schools, that regulation will come. So they will have no option but to choose our schools first. So now, not just with management, regulation will also come into place. And coming back to what we call this thing, I understand that I also do not know many things about service matters, service rules, and of course we had lots of meetings. So perhaps because of that also we are running behind time. But on the issue of APAR, like who writes for whom your APAR? You see, if you look at the IAS, they have a time-bound promotion. So they join as a SDO probationer, but in no time they become not only a HOT or HOD, they started writing the APAR for those who were writing for them within a very short time. So we understand that the government system as such is like that. Now, if you look at the PGTs, you have stagnancy issue. I just want you to also understand the stagnancy issue in all the other cadres. Like if you look at the new recent OM, which has been issued by Finance, as well as reiterated by PNR, now it will be very difficult for what do we call the secondary and elementary groups to have a director. They still don't have a director. Nobody will reach director. It is still vacant. And if you go by that strictures, they already have 46 administrative posts which are line vacant. So the 20 or so, the 30 or so who are there, they will all retire because I've run the math. They will all retire before the 4th of July 2030. So in other words, there will be 0 officers in the elementary and secondary section because the new OM says that you will not get your promotion without having what do we call a particular period of time. The central government, it operates on a particular system. This I've been asking the government to take up. For example, NSSB. Now all LDA exams are done through NSSB. If 100 LDS are appointed this year, they are all sent to different departments. 10 of them to our department, just example, 10 to home department, 5 to police department, so on and so forth, they are all distributed. One is sent to minority affairs, the youngest department, or that food processing department, the youngest department. Now you call the cohort of 2026, the 100 LDS after 15 years. The one in our department will still be an LDA, but the one in food processing or in minority affairs will already be a registrar. So this is what PNR needs to address. And this is what we have been telling them. Because with the implementation of the, what do we call, Nagaland School Education Administrative Service and the Nagaland School Education Service, teachers will have to retire as teachers. Now, when you retire as teachers, there is no issue of designation. There is no issue of assistant, joint, deputy, additional director. But your compensation, which is due to you, should come to you automatically. And I understand that many of you and every employee should be given the fair opportunity in central services. They have this non-functional upgradation. So whether there is post vacancy or not, you keep your pay grade or what is due to you, continue to move without what do we call any hindrances. What is presently happening is that the bottleneck, the dirt which has choked the nala, the canal, it is blocking everyone. So the court cases which the secondary teachers, they went, we told them not to go, we told them that it will affect your promotion, they went, and now the court has given its judgment. Now many of them, since the OM had come out, none of them are eligible, even if I want to promote them to HM also. So many of these now we need to discuss. So as far as the stagnancy of our PGTs are concerned, my request to you is your association, you please meet the secondary association. The way in which you have bifurcated the what do we call division of what posts, like the amount of DEOs which were supposed to be given to you. All these are not based on real practices. All these are based on what do we call cushy kind of this thing. So I think this is something which we need to discuss. We are unable to put up our DEOs in another 6 districts because there is already instruction from what do we call PNR and finance. So we are closely in touch with them. We have to find alternatives. Now we have what do we call 11 senior principals. Now we are going back to this. These 11 senior principals. I have not studied properly because that will imply. But there is no need to have senior principal. You see, your growth was retarded. That's why the senior principal consent came. So we will all work together. We are not going to take any unilateral decisions. It will be all done on a free, prior, and informed consent instrument. We will consult with each other. What is going to happen? What are the proposals A, B, C, D? We are also aware of the necessity of consultation. But definitely, I just want to remind all of you that we are in the process of studying all this, and soon we will have to put up different pressure points to the government also. Now coming to a contentious file which we have been pulling up, we have worked out with the financial experts what is called, earlier it used to be called voluntary retirement. There is nothing called voluntary retirement. For many decades, our department, we had been foolishly talking about voluntary retirement. If you want to retire today, you can put your application tomorrow. The government can process it. So the so-called voluntary retirement, which has been discussed for 2-3 decades, it is called forced retirement. So under the fundamental rule, 85J, we will soon be unleashing what do we call a formula called to be kind, we need to be cruel. So that is called what do we call voluntary. It's not nothing to do with voluntary forced retirement. We understand that as seniority comes, motivation also becomes lower. It's human nature. So we are not blaming any seniors. But I understand that especially from the secondary cadre who comes and sit in the directorate, the joint directors and the immediate officers, their seats are permanently, their offices are permanently, what do we call, empty. Because they have only 3 months left, 2 months left. They're not going to come and sit in your office for 2-3 months. So it is permanently deserted. So, and when they write on files, what do? As stated above officers, I call them. Nobody reads the file because they don't know how to process and study the file. So, from the, what do we call, processing the file from the section, somebody writes as stated above. That's how everybody writes in their file. So, I used to call them as stated above officers. So, Samagra will also now come to 2.0. What we have done is we are no longer going to keep Samagra as a dedicated division of the directorate. Unless we take this drastic step, we will have as stated above officers running our department even after 50 years. So we are diluting the administrative governance system in DOSE under pillar number 2, and therefore we want to train our young teachers, because now we are calculating who will reach the top. Immediately after our Razuse, we know who is coming. After it, who is in the line of fire. So we understand this, and therefore we are now bringing a couple of our young officers, and hopefully they will continue, and they will continue to help strengthen our directorate in the days to come. So many of the decisions which we are taking, please do not take it otherwise. We are taking decisions which will make us all strong. By the end of the day, as I keep repeating, the directorate is where the heart pumps blood into all of us. It is not nectar. It is not even a Samagra. These are operating on pilot projects on what do we call time-bound schemes. So by the end of the day, if our directorate is not strong, we will not be able to do anything. So today, I just want to request all of us to have patience. I know patience run out, and especially teachers are very simple people. But when the teachers' patience run out, they not only start shooting bullets, they start throwing grenades also, which is very harmful for all of us. The instance of those teachers who are protesting in the street, we have told them umpteen times. They know nothing about government procedures. They know nothing of how things works. And we have explained everything to them, but they're not willing to the refusal to understand it is because they simply cannot understand government procedure. They have no interest also, plus they are not at all, what do we call, having the tenacity to understand that this is how government works. So we had exhausted all what we call judiciary systems, and we had put the ball in the court of the government again because their pay grade, when they were agitating, it was above what is prescribed by NPSC. So we need clarification from PNR, from Finance Department. Me along with our officers, we had 5 rounds of meetings with them. 2 cabinet decisions, they will not take decision because this will open a Pandora box for every employee who are already in the system. So very technical, too technical. So here it is not just give and take. This is not like a fish market. You hand over the cash and you get what you want. So I understand that there are a lot of erroneous entry points also. There are a lot of mistakes which we have done in the past also. Also, some were done without it was all done following a certain protocol, following a PNR OM, but it has not really, what do we call, touched all the necessary OMs. So for these secondary teachers who are now stagnant, we had dug out what are the necessary OMs which can actually effectuate their promotion. So very soon, we hope that all the secondary, despite the OM which were circulated recently, where the next promotion will be only in July 2030, very soon all the secondary teachers as well as administrators, they will all be getting promotion very fast because now we have found out. So Kafka talks about the law. What is the law? The law is like the door. It neither says, you please enter, but it just said, please wait. Wait. It is neither denying you or refusing you. So it is neither saying you cannot enter or you can enter. So the law is what Kafka famously talks about, not just for government systems, but also about philosophical entities. And with that, I hope that we all work together, and I hope and I appreciate that the trust and the in the leadership which we are all headed in our own respective ways. We hope to be working together. And once again, I thank all of you for giving me this time, and sorry if I had taken more than the 45 minutes period. Thank you all.